G'day guys, and today Geelong had a big win over the Tigers against all the odds. Cats getting home by 14 points at home, and the Cauldron again delivered the goods, and the Cats certainly did that as well with a great win. Tigers were banking in their win, but not to be, and we stood up and showed a lot of character today. No Hawkins, no Duncan, no Selwood, no worries. So a massive win by the Cats. And we'll take that on board, and a massive win in the overall scheme of things. How did we see it today, guys? We're all there.
Yeah, we were. That's a rarity, actually, that we're all there.
All there, we're all here. Langs, how'd you see it, mate?
Yeah, no, good. It's good to be on the pod for the first win. Third time lucky.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was very nervous at the start when they kicked the first 2 goals and we were looking a bit fumbly, but we just nutted it out, didn't we? Yeah. It wasn't a flashy win. It wasn't poor. We just got the job done.
It was, wasn't it, mate? I mean, at times Richmond looked pretty good, and they moved the ball well, but we did play pretty gutsy football. I mean, we had to, didn't we? Because we knew the players were out. Richmond were a good team, and at times, certainly when they fought back before 3/4 time and early, I thought, gee, we could be in some strife here because we just don't have the personnel. But no, I was really pleased, mate. Like you said, with the Cauldron, the atmosphere was up and about. The crowd clearly were keen to see us play well after the week where everyone was sort of writing us off. And yeah, really pleasing because I think it's not easy to just step up, but it just shows how good a home ground advantage it is. And it shows that a few other guys really stepped up. There's still a few quiet guys, you know, with some younger players, obviously, that had to play. But look, it wasn't perfect footy, as you mentioned, Langs, but you know, we drove the ball inside 50 a lot and didn't always result in a great outcome with kicking to the Tiger numbers, but when we did move the ball well, particularly with hand, it looked pretty impressive, and the back line was extremely good. Some quality players there playing their role and providing some reasonable rebound as well, but pretty pleasing, mate. But Tiz, what'd you make? All Langs?
All of the young guys I felt really stepped up. I think Tiz said it last week, we need, you know, Parsons, Menegol, all these young kids to step up, and Stewart and Buse, just off the top of my head, they were fantastic. Buse especially, just he looked so clean when he got it. While the Cats did fumble a little bit at the start, Buse did hold on to it, and he just used his run and carry, which we do need a bit of, and his strength. And Stewart did too. I didn't realise Stewart was so quick. He did have a couple runs out of the back line. It was quite impressive.
Loves it. So look, we weren't impressive as we sort of mentioned off the top, but really gutsy win in the end. Just fought to the end. There was times where we had our turns of momentum, and early on we weren't great, but then to respond with a few goals in a row was a promising sign to see. Ball movement throughout the day we played a bit of a risky style through the corridor. It was, we need to play that, I reckon, to most of the time to get a win on the board, so we really made it,
made the most of it.
Pretty much, no, I'm struggling to sort of say what I'm actually
we knew that the chances we did take, we had to make the most of it, otherwise Richmond would just, convert and, get a goal from our mistakes. So the mistakes we did make, I don't think it was too costly. There wasn't a whole lot of turnovers that led straight to goals, and normally when the team that had possession, when they did have it, it would end up in a score for them. So both teams were taking their chances and being quite efficient, I felt.
Yeah, massive plaudits to the tackling pressure throughout the day. I don't remember seeing so many holding the balls played, and it was just we had a real desire for the contest and just winning the ball and getting off Richmond. So that played a big part. As I often say, it's not really about who you got on the field, but the sort of the attitude they bring to the game. And we were switched on, really hungry for the ball, and did very well there. We didn't make the most of it inside 50, so we sort of blazed away, and you were pretty disappointed with how we moved the ball at times late in that third quarter. And the final term was just hacking it in long, hoping for a contested mark. But look, the tackling pressure was a massive reason for our win. It's very gutsy once again. That's about all I've got to say on that one. But no, really impressed with an even contribution from the team.
Where does that put us for the rest of the season, do you think? Because you said last week, realistically, we could lose. And you're right, we could have lost every game for the rest of the year. But do you have some hope now that we could do some damage in finals if we bring that intensity, or
In finals, or I think I'll still stand by. I think we can still win one.
that's fair enough.
That's probably hasn't changed since I guess last week, but can certainly winning the next one or two is certainly not impossible, and certainly maybe likely. I like our chances against the Giants more so than Collingwood, which is
Yeah, well, hopefully Toby Green gets 2 weeks for his little Jackie Chan kick.
Yeah,
That'll be helpful.
let's hope so. But look, good contribution from the boys today.
Yeah,
like the way they went about it.
Yep.
Moving into the votes, and it's very tough because there were so many players that put their hand up, and there's going to be guys that are going to be unhappy with us on the show here with the panel selection, but really happy with how they all went about it. Who wants to start us off?
Shorty, after you.
I'll go, mate. It was very tough. Even now I'm thinking about it, and I'm sort of...
I'm weighing it up.
I had the 3 guys, and then I think about someone else, I'm like, I wouldn't mind giving them a vote. But look, I gave the 3 votes to Henderson. I thought he was really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought he was great. The back line was outstanding. He was probably the most offensive of the lot.
3 votes to the back line.
Yeah. And I gave 2 votes to Motlop. I think he was really damaging. I mean, he did have a couple of kicks and decisions that weren't his best, but that's something he can do. But he did break the game open. He was pretty physical too at times.
He was, yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. Kicked a brilliant goal late, which proved pretty much the match winner, I suppose.
Yep.
And some real run and carry and dash. And then I gave the 1 vote to Dangerfield. As much as we like to judge Paddy on his standards, he was again outstanding, even if it wasn't one of his best games of all time. I think he laid the 10 tackles, 30 touches.
Yeah, that's something that caught my eye, the tackles. It's not all just one way. He definitely does the hard stuff as well. Yeah,
absolutely. But I'm sure you guys have mentioned a few of the other players that I probably would have liked in there as well. I mean, Guthrie I was thinking about, and you mentioned Buse as well. But how did you boys see him?
For the 3, I'll go Henderson as well. I just felt he had a lot of contests with Dustin Martin, some of the taller and stronger opponents, and he won a lot of one-on-one battles, especially with Dustin Martin. And I just saw in the stats he only had 8 marks, but the times and the places of the marks were incredible and over much more formidable opponents. And just comes from the back and gets the front and gets the mark, and you wouldn't expect him to do that. He was quite impressive and stopped a few goals as well. For 2, Harry Taylor, I think 4 goals, was the shining light up forward, took a nice lot of marks, and bet Alex Rance. That's not an easy thing to do. He made Alex Rance worry, and I think at one point Hardwick was changing up, who to go on Taylor and where can Rance go, and I think at some point Rance was pushing up the field a bit more. For the 1 vote, maybe a little bit controversial, but I thought Tom Stewart was quite good. As I said, he used that pace out of the back line and his strength to win a lot of one-on-one contests, and especially at one point during the last quarter, just marked in front of, I think it was, what's his
Dusty.
name? I think it was Dusty, Dusty, and then took that run. Oh, it was Nankervis. And then he ran up the wing, took 3 bounces, and then got into the 50, and it saved almost a certain goal up because Rewalt was just running out the back. So one vote for Tom Stewart. Very good.
Stuff, mate.
Yeah, just weighing it up in my head right now, guys. But I've given the 3 to Guthrie actually, which is quite an interesting one based off. I feel like I should have Henderson there with you guys. I think he's best on ground. So we'll have a look. He's got 25 touches, and just his work early. He looks at home in the midfield. I know he can't always play there because of we have Duncan in there, we have Selwood in there as well normally, but really like him there, and I would like to think we would have him sort of rotate through midfield, defensive 50 most of the time, but it'll all depend on the setup, who we have in, who we have out, pretty much. But yeah, I thought he set it up. His burst speed, he had a shot on goal for once. He always passes them off. He actually went to kick a goal.
Put us in front.
Yeah, nice and early. I felt he really helped us set it up, set the standards, and love the way he went about it. So Guthrie gets a 3 for mine there. 2 votes. Oh, gee, I don't know. I've got too many names all at once.
Last half hour, mate.
I don't know what I've been doing, mate. Just
fixing the lamp.
Going through the motions. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go Busey. I'll give him 2 votes. He was sensational. He only got 13 touches, but what he does with his touches, he just takes them on. It was really good to watch. Plenty of intercept marks. Run and dash out of the back line. He's so confident now. He just backs himself in and uses the ball really well on both sides of his foot. Really worked on his left foot. I don't think in the past he would have been very clean off the left, but a few nice left foot kicks there. For Busey, and the 1 vote, I'll give it to Paddy Boy. He has to get a vote in here, so he gets 30 touches. 5 marks and 10 tackles, just a beast and a monster in the contest, and certainly we would have needed him out there today, putting in a massive one for us to be a chance, and that proved to be the case. So, again, yeah, just enormous.
Yes. Is that how they used to describe you on the footy field? A beast and a monster? Is that around Thompson?
I've heard the legends, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, never.
I think the best
One
part
hit
also,
wonder.
I think the best part also was, as you said, Motlop and Guthrie, who have had, not the best years, and they were two of the best players. Murdoch you could put in that category as well, but we've spoken about his last, 2 months of good form. Guthrie and especially Motlop, like, people would be thinking, oh, why have we brought Motlop in? Like, here we go again. But, as you said, he had a couple of not great decisions, but that goal in the last quarter and a couple of tackles, he was very physical with Basher Hawley. They had a nice little battle a couple of times. He was very impressive. If he can stay at that level for the rest of the year, he might be that key to, and with Cockatoo back as well, he might be that key to something.
Yeah, oof, it's exciting.
Yes.
Running through those names, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a special shout, obviously, Barry Taylor, 4 goals. I wish I could give him a vote because, 4 goals against, in general, and at home against Alex Rance when you've got no one else there. Yeah. Stanley offered nothing.
Ooh. I thought...
well, that's just my opinion. I thought he was good.
I thought he did his job. He didn't need to do anything special. He led up, he marked, kicked 1 goal, 1. He did his bit. He was off for the last quarter, so it's hard to say. But yeah, look, he wasn't.
He had a good moment.
He wasn't impressive, but he came in and he just needed to not be terrible, and he wasn't terrible.
Should I step away for a bit?
I might have to get between us, Daniel.
Yeah, well,
1v1.
No dramas. Well, Taylor did very nicely. Obviously, Menegola was pretty solid.
Yeah.
And would like to work on his goal kicking, I hope. But Mackie was good. Plenty of players were good. Cole Jasny played really well, I thought.
Yeah, they were saying on K-Rock that was one of his best games for the club.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'd have to agree. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Very good.
Definitely, mate.
We'll go into the player review / chopping block, which is used to be renowned as. Sure, mate. This is your section. You love it. You love talking about who's going to be in, who's going to be out, what's going to happen this week at selection, and what should we consider.
Yeah, no, true, mate. I think there was probably still a few young guys out there that, they're going to be hopefully good players, but at this stage, they're just like
nice guys.
You guys like Parsons and Simpson and little Zach Guthrie and those types, they show a couple of signs, and even Thurlow, a couple of signs where they look alright, and then a few times they
got 10 marks.
Yeah, I think
that was just crazy.
Yeah, very surprising, but bits and pieces, but still probably not genuine senior footballers. And we were talking about on the way home, probably the only guy to come back is probably Duncan at this stage.
Yeah.
Of course, Joel's out for a while. Hawkins still suspended, and Cockatoo isn't returning anytime soon. But
no bingo.
So I couldn't see there being a stack of changes this week. I don't know where Holland Smith is at with his Achilles, but Kuniko was coming back. I mean, I might even throw to you here, Langs, in regards to the reserves, because you were there a bit earlier.
I did see the second half of the VFL game, and down my end was Ruggles, who was quite impressive. Took 4 or 5 marks while I was there. Tim House was quite good, but I think Ruggles has would come in before him. But I think Ruggles in for maybe Zach Guthrie. Just a bit more experienced head, a bit bigger body, and he can probably take a man a little bit better. And just
got a bit of man rule about him.
He does, yeah. It's another Tom Stewart. We just need those boys that can crash in hard and win the ball. Not necessarily, like I said last week, kick it out of the 50, but maybe just crash in, give that handball to someone, and then just do their job.
Give it to Stewie.
Give it to Stewie.
And I mean, I haven't heard how bad Stanley's injury is, but look, we'll have to probably wait and see how that goes. And the likely return would probably be Buzzer, you'd imagine.
But Buzzer kicked 2, Black kicked 3. So.
Yeah. I'd probably still like to see Buzzer play. I probably would have preferred him to stay in the team this week, to be fair.
I wouldn't have thought he did anything to get admitted in the first place. But I think they were just looking for that more senior player.
Yeah, a bit more experience, maybe reliability to some extent. But probably not too much, but bigger picture stuff. There's certainly a bit that'll change, but at this point, and I think Menzel limped off late, but he did come back.
He did come back on. He didn't do anything. Once he did come back on, I think it was just it was a corky, and they were working on his groin or sort of in the back of the hamstring. But
so I'll wait and see, mate. But look, as you do say, Tiz, it's about that attitude, and we brought a good attitude today. But I think a lot of today's performance was brought about emotion and motivation driven by that. Sometimes that's got to be the default setting, and you got to find it some other way without outside motivation and we got to get up because this week's been against us. So you just got to find that without any genuine reason other than playing well. So hopefully they can.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff, boys.
Thanks,
Thanks, mate. Well,
back to you in the box.
Collingwood next week, mate.
Yes, absolutely.
They have proven a bit difficult at times.
They have been. So yeah, Pies, believe it'll be Sunday, probably 3:20 or something like that. I have to double check those details there, guys. There's a bit of disclaimer, but look, we haven't gotten close to them since 2014 actually, when we won by 11 points. Hawkins had a big night as well. He tore Reed apart for the first time in his career. But look, the Pies Warriors. Who knows where Wells will be at? He's got a bit of a quad at the moment.
Yeah,
so
I did see that. So I was just wondering if he will be coming back in because. He's
at least got this week out.
Yeah, when he plays in that team, they look much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's that silken class throughout the midfield. Good ball user, but look, when we often play them, they tend to bring that frenetic pressures I often talk about, and that run off half back, the way they shift the ball as well from one end to the other. Just they turn us on a 5-cent piece at times and make us look pretty ordinary. They make us look ordinary at times and mediocre, I must say. We tend to kick long and high. They tend to just match up pretty well against us for whatever reason. Don't know where Pendlebury's at, whether he's even playing this week.
No, he's out for the season.
He's out for the too easy. Well, there'll be nothing awkward between Selwood and Pendlebury because they won't be there this time. So that's so positive there. I don't really know where to tip here. I'd probably just default go to the Pies because they generally
after one of the most impressive wins.
Yeah, but as Short said, that was all emotion and.
Way to put a dampener on the rookie.
They worries all the time.
I think
has to be said.
I think Geelong thrived off that the underdog tag today a little bit, and there still might be those questions regarding Selwood being out, and I think even if Hawkins and Duncan come back in. Wayne Carey was saying the other day he was writing us off because Selwood was out, and I think just by having the captain out makes everyone else lift because they know they can't just leave it to him to do all the work. So,
I believe we are a Dangerfield tagged away from not looking very good, and I reckon Greenwood will go to him. But
untaggable, mate.
Can you tag Dangerfield? I would have thought.
Oh, you can tag him to have lesser of an influence as with the ball, but in terms of pure numbers, he may get 30, 33, but he may not
much impact.
So that would be my thoughts there. Look, who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a good game, no doubt. But what do we reckon, guys? I'm thinking of a few Cats tips here.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say we're biased, mate?
No, I think going off the form of today, you'd have to tip Geelong.
Up by 50 points against the Crows, mate, and then Drew. Go on.
Yeah. Well. Thanks, Dawson.
The rest of the season.
Just off the form of today, I'd have to tip Geelong. Like I know we always have the Collingwood curse, as you said, almost a Kennett curse worthy. Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But yeah, I think as well as they've been playing, Collingwood, I think they're sort of just dropping off a bit. The last bit of the year, especially that 50-point anti-comeback against against the Crows. They should have won that game and they'd be shooting themselves in the foot that they didn't. I'd have to say Geelong.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm being a tipster, I'd probably say Geelong as well. But like Ty said, I mean, they do match up well. And midfield's going to be a little stretched. Collingwood do have a very good midfield, particularly if Wells comes back.
Duncan back for us though next week.
Yeah. And I think because they're generally a bit smaller in the forward line too. Those types tend to worry our back line a little bit more.
Solo.
I guess it didn't today, but hopefully they can continue on. So, look, there's a few elements. I mean, obviously, if we can repeat today's performance or something near it, then you say, definitely we could.
Agree,
we could get it, but history shows they go fairly well against us, and there could be other things too, like if Collingwood's season's probably over, if they lose this week. Might be over anyway, mathematically.
They've got Port at Adelaide Oval, so...
does that impact it, just that little bit of an end-of-season match where it doesn't mean as much?
They just throw all caution to the wind and...
How that turns, sometimes teams play poorer towards the end of the season when it's all over. Sometimes they play with freedom, so it's hard to say.
You never know.
I mean, I'd like to think that we're the better side, but they do match up well against us. So, look, I do feel that we can beat them, and I certainly hope we do, because it'll be critical for us but where we're playing that first finals match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And whether
as
we
well
get
as
two
the
chances.
as well as the last game at home against the Giants. That's
juicy.
It's just around the corner as well.
Yeah, that'll be big.
That will be big,
That will
especially with Stevie J
Ooh,
apparently
yeah.
being rested and then coming back in
Yeah,
for that
true.
game. So,
Really?
Just the
Wow,
final
we-
send off.
Yeah.
You'll have tears in your eyes, won't you, mate?
That's the second time in
Stevie J.
3 years that we
second time he's made you cry.
Yeah, that's a bit of backstory. So I hope you enjoyed the review today, guys. Cats owned by 14 points at Simmons Stadium with a very gutsy win against the odds. We'll take it on board and hopefully continue to get the wins column up and get that top 4 sort of solidified, and then hopefully get a win, mate. Next week against the Pies.
Hope so, mate.
And you too, Lanks. I hope we can get a win.
Hope so.
Alright, thanks heaps for hanging around, guys. Comment any thoughts on the game, like the video, subscribe for more. We've hit 500. We'll have a bit of a vid soon. So, big thank you for every one of you 500. Muchly appreciated for sticking around. We'll see you guys next time.